thank you for joining us for a conversation with our March Masterwork Series artist, Michael Casimir. Joining Michael today is Arachnid Music Academy founder and CEO, Sarah Caleb. You know her as Captain Sarah.
We are all here together to talk about our love for video game music. And we're so lucky to have you, Mike, to join us for this hour, bringing your skills in viola to this session.
Certainly reminiscent of some games that I loved playing growing up. I think you all know what I'm talking about.
Since we're talking about Mario, let's just straight do it, Mike.
All right.
The music from Mario, it sounds so light. It sounds so pleasant. It sounds so fun. And that's that emotion and that feeling that you get when you tune in and you play all those Mario games. Like, like, you know, when he jumps up and like hits all those boxes.
Right. It's funny that we're playing Mario. I mean, that's usually a pretty standard for our generation to be one of like the first games you play. One of my favorite levels was like when he would go in that underworld area, the music would completely change. And it was like, I always liked that music a lot. And then also the music when they went into the underworld, like, you
know what? I connect more with the music from the games that I love and from the movies and from the stories that I love. And I want to play that and jump into that because when I go there, it's like I can transport myself into those worlds.
You know, my outlook on life is like, how does the viola fit into this? And then just try to make it happen. And so that's where I'm at right now. So I was like pretty young playing video games. And then me and my mom used to play this jet skiing game, which was like kind of fun because we'd like race each other. And like, that was a good time. And then I played a lot of like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro back then. And then I was introduced to FIFA and I never looked back.
One of the things that video games speak to, and I think a lot of people who are watching can definitely relate, is the fact that video games bring in community. In the world of video games, we can still have such imaginative experiences and we can still have that community that we had when we were younger. The sense of accomplishment, this winning that we've done together as a team, like this is the pinnacle moment. That is another aspect of video gaming, right? It's like the emotions that come up with it.
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember vividly crying in front of like the TV. And it's like you invest so many hours and like all these emotions. And my mom just comes home and she sees me crying and she's like, "What are you crying about?" And I was like, "I lost in like NFL Fever or whatever." And she's like, "You're crying over a video game?" And I was like, Yes, I am." Like
100%. Gaming and being with your friends and competing, it gives you such a spectrum, a plethora of different feelings that you can tap into. But what I love the best is what you said, how you had your guitar and how you imbued music into your video gaming as a way to sort of flow through whatever it was that you were feeling. Like, wow, like that was awful. Did you ever do it like that was amazing?
No, it was just if they lost, you just tore them up with the lyrics. Yeah, it was a good time. One of my favorite cellists, his name is Steven Isserlis. Great, fantastic cellist. And I was like, man, like, he didn't get famous till he was like old. Back then, that's what I thought. He didn't get famous till he was like 50 or something. But I'm sitting here thinking, man, he didn't get famous till he's old. Like, what am I going to do? I'll never be that good in the first place. So it's like, what's the point of me trying to do this? And so I called my teacher. She was like, "You're freaking out." And it's okay. Everybody has this like, you know, a little bit of crisis. It's fine. It's like, it makes sense. You're human. And I was like, all right, cool. Mr. Diaz, who was like, you know, still like a mentor to me at this point. A lot of intensity, which was good for me because like back then I probably needed it. I probably still need it now. Anyway. But he was just kind of saying like, you know, you need to apply yourself a little bit more. So then I started taking it more seriously again. I mean, like I feel like there's all these checkpoints of where like I kind of don't really take myself seriously. And then all of a sudden, like somebody said something to me and then I'm like, oh, like I can do it. Okay. So here I am in St. Louis, chilling.
You know what you experienced with wanting to give up? So many people give up. And what were the things that you were telling yourself too during that time that helped you switch from, I mean, of course you had the help from your mentor, but that helped you switch from like, I give up to like, no, wait a second, I don't give up?
It's just the understanding that progress isn't linear, especially for something that you really, really care about. It's never linear. That's just part of the game of it all. Of like, just, it's you versus you, and kind of understanding that, and just, mind over matter type of stuff. All the cliches that people talk about, but it's really true. Like, all these cliches are actually really true. That's why everybody says them all the time, but people don't pay them any mind. And then they just, like you said, they stop. I think just you have to change something about what you're doing to see something different, right? Because if you're down on yourself and then you don't make any changes, nothing's going to happen. You're going to be in the same spot. If you're doing what everybody else is doing, you're just going to be like everybody else. It's all the stuff that everybody else isn't doing that you have to do to get you to the next level.
It's just something that's built, and it comes from that decision, which of course comes from your emotions saying, hey, I like this or I don't like this. And then you choosing which way to orient yourself on your emotional compass, right? I like to head due north, right? I like to think of it when I feel better, or when I want to feel better and I'm not feeling so great, I just think, okay, how do I orient to the North Star, my own North Star? And that is by doing what makes me feel good.
How has the experience of improvising more kind of changed your perspective on music, or has it changed your perspective on music? And what is it like to go from a musical discipline that's really based on the written page, and then to jump into more of an improvised setting? How do you approach those two musical settings?
Anytime jazz musicians draw from classical, I always like kind of want to hear more of what they're doing, just because I think there's something else there. Somebody like Art Tatum, Oscar Peterson, these people that like like the physicality. I mean, like the mental that they are able to express, it just flows into their physicality, and they can just do whatever, literally whatever they think, that's the end goal, being able to do what you think completely to a T. There's no stopping you, no technique stops you. And if you can do it in jazz, you should be able to do it in classical, and they do it in classical too.
What is something that you are excited to share with our participants for our upcoming Saturday and Sunday video game music trivia sessions that we will be doing together? What's something that you are excited to share with our participants to let them know now that you'll be bringing?
I love music, and clearly, I hope that whoever watches this and who watches next week, it's like that should be apparent ideally, because anytime I play or something, I want people to feel how much I love music. It's like a positive energy that literally or like an aura or something. So I hope to just bring that to other people, because music is sweet. It gets you through the day, I like to say it colors the air.
I would like to thank you, Mike, for hanging out with me this hour and for bringing music.
Really, thanks for having me.
Mike, it was great to hear you play. Great to catch up and hear what you've been doing.
Mike, can you do the Team Rocket?
I can do the Team Rocket. All right, here it goes.
Thank you for tuning into the live, and thank you for giving your support to the Arachnid Music Academy. For now, this is the Arachnid team signing off.